My name is Marque, and I am 63 years old. I work in construction with my partner. We have a small construction company, and we do everything from roofing to foundations to siding to landscaping and painting and drywall. And I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I love Minneapolis. It's the best town you could live in. In my free time, I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy hanging out with friends and doing things. I enjoy many times being able to be the oldest guy at a club. Where I like dancing and having a good time with people. Love good food, especially Mexican food. So shortly after my 50th birthday, I had the regular checkups you have when you turn 50, and I had a high PSA. And so they decided to eventually, I think in a year or two after that, give me a check. And it turned out they found some low-grade, non-threatening prostate cancer. And they said, we're just going to monitor it and watch it. I mean, I normally have a pretty positive outlook. And so, when they first told me that it's, the non-threatening, slow growth, I wasn't really worried about it at all. And then all of a sudden I get told that, well, this is now shifted and changed. It's starting to grow. And that kind of alarmed me a little bit. And I was like, okay, I need to get this taken care of. But as soon as they found it, then in January, they found out that I had it. Well, then by the end of February, we were into COVID. And so it prolonged the time that I could actually have the surgery. So I wound up having a testosterone blocker in April so that, hopefully everything would stop growing. And then by June that year, I was able to get in for a surgery. So that was a little nerve-wracking time then. I was waiting and wondering, what's going to happen. And it was a bit of a difficult time at that time. I had struggled with erectile dysfunction prior to having the cancer and my prostatectomy. And at that time, it was dealt with mainly just with medications. But however, after I had my prostate removed, it just got much, much worse. I came out after my prostatectomy, I could not get an erection at all. I just continued trying to use the oral medications. I had been using Viagra quite a bit before that, and then I had also tried some Cialis, and there was no response from that. So that's when I went back to the doctor, and he suggested that I try a vacuum pump and rings. And so I tried that for a while, but still, that didn't work either. Being in the condition where, I've just had cancer surgery, I've had my prostate removed. Also at that time, I was going through a divorce and my life was getting rearranged in a lot of different ways. Having, erectile dysfunction and not being able to, have an erection at all was really emotionally and physically difficult to deal with because, I was in my late 50s at the time and was hoping to be able to begin my life anew and was feeling like, maybe in some areas it's not going to be as new and hopeful as I had hoped it could be. And so after several months of that, I came back to the doctor again and said, do you got any other options for me? I had never even known about penile implants until I talked to my urologist about my continued ED and the struggle I was having. And he brought up the idea and showed me a couple different products. And his suggestion was the Titan. And so then I remember Googling and looking up a little more information about it and mainly looking at reviews and what people thought. And that's when I decided to move ahead with that. I didn't really have any concerns about moving ahead with it. I was very trusting of my doctor who had done my prostatectomy. And the clinic there, I didn't really feel like I had other options. And so I wasn't worried about the process really because I'm like, hey, right now nothing's working and hopefully this will help. My partner knew that I was struggling with ED and they were real supportive and encouraging and everything else like that. But when I told them that I was thinking about doing this penile implant called the Titan, they were like, oh, Andres Garcia, La Bombita, that's awesome. they knew everything about it, and being, Mexican and understanding the culture and everything, there was this openness and awareness that I didn't even have at all of what Titan or La Bombita is, and an openness and excitement to that. So they were really encouraging and open to me. The recovery from the surgery went quite quickly. I remember there was a short period of time that I felt like, what did I do? And that was probably a week, But then once everything was kind of unbandaged and coming back to normal and a lot of the initial pain was gone, it was pretty encouraging to begin to see how it functioned and what worked and things like that. And it took a while to learn how it worked for me and to use it, but I wasn't uncomfortable with the idea of it at all and looking forward to getting a fresh start. I was a little concerned about activities and sports and bike riding and other things, but I can do weightlifting, I can ride bikes, I can ride horses. I work in construction all the time. It doesn't give me any problem. It only gives me benefits when I need it. Since getting the implant, it's definitely renewed me in a lot of ways. I have a lot more confidence in myself, in relationships. Comparing the implant to other forms of treatment for ED is like night and day. I mean, there's hardly any comparison. I mean, it's response ready when you need it, when you want it. You're not limited by, how long the pill lasts or how long the vacuum pump is going to last. The Titan will be ready as long as you want to keep using it. And so it's really hard to think of any comparison at all to other forms of treatment. I was really fortunate when it came to thinking about the cost because I had just had my prostate removal not that long before, within the year, I believe. And so they were like, this is a quality of life health issue, and so we will put it into the insurance to cover it. It's not a cosmetic issue. It's not a personal choice. It's about quality of life. And so my insurance completely covered it. And I'm very grateful to that because I don't know if I could have done it without that assistance. Being in Minneapolis, where Coloplast is, I've had the opportunity to meet some of the people that build and work at the factory, at the plant, and they have high standards and quality and really care not just about the products they make and what they do, but they care deeply about changing people's lives and helping people. To other men that are facing erectile dysfunction, I would definitely encourage you to look into a penile implant, and especially the Titan. I think so many times in life we face struggles and issues that we don't know how to deal with. And sometimes we retreat and feel like there's nothing I can do. And I am so thankful I moved ahead and that I went with Titan. I mean, it's definitely changed my life. I feel more confident and secure in relationships. And I would encourage people that if you're thinking about implant, go with the Titan.